issues. Today we have him in the studio. Mr. Kleijweg is a lawyer with the Schumann-Kleijweg and de Vries lawyers in Voorburg, near The Hague. And as you know, immigration law on the European continent is constantly under change. This means that the situation of migrants may be affected along with all the changes. In this broadcast, we'll be focusing on what immigration law has to offer to those who are victims of human trafficking. That is, those who have been brought to the Netherlands or elsewhere against their own will or wish. How does the law say, and what is God for them? So we're going to look at this topic today. And what is really human trafficking? Human trafficking may be defined as it's a form of modern slavery. It is no, that's not the definition. Okay, let me use borrow this definition from here. It says human trafficking is every act that supports or engages or enables the illegitimate entry or transit through or residence in and or the living of the territory of a country. Every act aimed at the sexual exploitation for reasons of financial profit and or other forms of criminal exploitation, as mentioned in Article 273F of the Penal Code of the Netherlands. That's a very technical definition, so I'm going to drop it here. But basically, well, the lawyer is here himself. He's going to throw more light on what really we mean by human trafficking. Welcome, Mr. Kleijweg.
Thank you, Pastor Bergnaam, for letting me be here. Thank you.
It's a joy. Happy New Year to you and your household.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think we had you about a year ago, so it's good that you're back again. And the first question I have for you is, which activities are considered in the eyes of the law as human trafficking?
Well, Pastor, basically, to keep it a bit simple,
Yeah.
it is exploiting or using people by making them travel to the country, from the country, or through a country with the purpose of making a profit out of them. So you can exploit them by making them beautiful promises of great profits in Europe, and then they come here, and that is like, well, you can work for us, but in a job you never, in your worst nightmare, thought of. You can make people travel here by and telling them that you must pay the money back, a huge amount of money when you are here, but they will provide you a job. Well, it will be a horrible job. And those kind of things, that is human trafficking. It is a wide array of criminal things, all interlocking together.
Wow.
And of course it is a crime for those who profit from that, those who exploit the people, the witnesses, the people who know about it but don't take part in it, and the victims are of course not a criminal at all. Nobody will even suspect them, and I will come later to that. The police is very kind and helpful to these people. My compliments to the police in these matters. Thank you.
Well, you know, it blows my mind how, you know, in this modern day, people can be engaged in exploiting other people by selling them or putting them into some kind of a bondage in order to profit from them financially. It beats my imagination that it can be happening today, because years or centuries ago we were talking about and we're fighting to end slavery, and here today people are doing this. I don't know how that is possible.
That, Pastor, if I was a wise man, I could give you the full answer, but mostly it is one part it is power, and other part it is greed and fraud. People always try to use, or some people try to use other people, and the people who are being used here are of course easy victims. They are afraid of the police, they don't know the language, they don't know the culture, they don't know that the police is nice, they don't know that lawyers also help these people for free.
Yes.
So they are terrified by the culprits, by believing them the whole world is against them, but that is not true.
Okay, you know what? I want you to make it clear to someone who's listening because we are all here, and nobody knows, and there are different ways through which people came here. And some people might be in a situation which clearly qualifies as human trafficking. Can you please tell our listeners which circumstances clearly reflect human trafficking? What really somebody can look into and say, oh, I think I'm in a situation like that and I need help. And then if you give them assurance that, hey, there is provision to help you, you don't have to remain in that situation, you don't have to be abused and be subdued in this manner. Please make clear what are the things which constitute human trafficking.
It are usually people who are irregular immigrants.
Irregular.
Usually the people paid for their journey here and they are told a beautiful story like, you must pay us 25,000 euros or something like that, but then you can work in a shop here or you get a nice job, you can pay us back.
Yes.
Those people are not free to move, they are kept in a house, they are really kept in bondage.
Wow.
Also, they are not have access to their traveling documents, to their passports. The money they earn, they are not allowed to keep themselves,
Really?
but it will be taken from them. And usually they're often also quite severely threatened or abused. Those situations, if one of those things is happening to you, always stand up, always fight back, because people who are doing that are evil, and evil must be fought against.
Yes.
Also in your own interest.
Wow. Wow. So anybody who finds himself or herself in this situation should clearly see himself or herself as being in a traffic situation. And so what should that person do?
That person should not be afraid of the police and certainly not be afraid of lawyers. Of course, as a lawyer, I can speak from my own professional category, from my own office, but I dare say that in general, such a person can go to the police and tell his story, even if they are afraid, even if they are irregular immigrants. But
you mean you don't have documents?
Even if you don't have documents, Pastor, because the police here, and I once tell more to give them my respect, they're kind to those people.
Wonderful.
But if one wants to stay on the safe side, it is wisest to contact a lawyer.
Yes.
A specialized lawyer who knows about immigration. You usually will have a free intake. The lawyer will tell you what is possible, what is not possible, and will explain you what can be done in your situation.
Wonderful. I think that is a very good news.
Yes.
Now, listeners, if you are in a situation where somebody is taking advantage of you, if they seize your documents, and the money you are earning from whatever you're doing, you don't have control over it, and they threaten you with all kinds of things, please do not be afraid. And if you feel that your personality is being abused or subdued, please, there is help for you. Contact a lawyer, and they will be able to help you get out of that situation. Do that before it's too late. Now, if you're listening to this broadcast and you have a question or remark, please give us a call on 020 36 020 737 1619. Thank you very much, Lawyer Kleijweg, for that brilliant explanation. Very simple and straight to the point. Now, we know that human trafficking is a criminal activity. Why was it not taken seriously? Has it not been seriously taken all this while? Because it's like now it's getting some special focus and attention. But I think it's been around all this while.
Yes, Pastor, indeed. And it is already getting for a longer time some attention, but not only for the last years, there is really a focus on it. There are specialized squadrons in the police force who are trained to handle those cases. For lawyers, there are also special classes, education to learn about these matters. And the politicians saw that the people who are committing those crimes, who are really parasites of the weakest people within the society. And it is also becoming more and more clear that those criminals are causing also many other criminal problems and many other social harm. So it is more and more relevant that there will be a crackdown on those kind of culprits. And now the politics are seeing that very clearly. If they can root them out, they will root out many problems of Dutch society.
Yeah, as well.
And of course, very important is also that those people who are living in this bondage situation are also helped, because in the old days it was mainly often overlooked, or people thought it's a choice of these people themselves. But it is becoming more and more clear that those people who maybe stepped into something half willing with the beautiful promise of work in Europe, came instead of a nice job, they came in hell, and those people need and deserve full support.
Yes.
It is very heartbreaking, to hear things like this, especially to hear from people who have been in this situation. It's using lies and deception to mislead people and to put them in bondage, and that is very wicked. And I think that should be people like that should be prosecuted by the law. I totally agree. So, and I realize that most countries now are beginning to take seriously this crime of human trafficking.
Yes, Pastor, indeed. It's an international problem, and there is also international cooperation, certainly within Europe, but also abroad. Networks are being seized, information has been exchanged, so nowadays the police also can have information about suspects who are living and working in other cities than in the Netherlands.
Wow.
So the network of the police is now vastly expanding.
Wonderful.
That's a very good thing.
That's very, very good. This evil man is written out. As a matter of fact, some statistics I checked out says that the total market value of this trade in human trafficking is 32 billion US dollars.
Wow.
And it says that 22 billion of this is realized at the point of sale, at the point where people are exchanged, the people exchange hands. And then the other 10 billion is derived later on in the course of the whole process. So which means that people are really making money from this illegal business.
Yes.
And it also says that 80% of people who are trafficked worldwide are women and children. Why has the focus been on women and children?
Because they're easiest victims, Pastor. First of all, there is always a demand for sexual labor, and I'm afraid children are not excluded from that. There is also sexual labor done by men. Nobody talks about it, especially not in African society. But there are also quite a lot of men who are suffering the same as the women.
Really?
Yes.
My.
And that is, well, just as bad. Problem with those criminal networks is that they focus on the weakest elements in society, because those criminals who are, well, basically terrorizing people are not the toughest and bravest criminals in this world. They pick on the weakest ones. You of course have also criminals like Mr. Holleder and like that. You can say many things of Mr. Holleder. I'm not saying that he is a nice man or a good man. You can say he's an evil man, but you can say one thing is that you cannot say of him, he's a coward. And whatever his character is, he's a brave man. And that is not something you can say of those who make use of women and children to make some easy money.
They must be cowards.
So they're low-life criminals.
Absolutely. If you're tough, then you better show your toughness by taking up tough challenges. But to exploit the vulnerable and the weak, that is a sign of real cowardice. Okay, so now before we take a break, I want you to tell us, from a legal point of view, why. Okay, probably you answered this already, but it looks like from a legal point of view, in fighting this crime, the law enforcement agencies are involved, and also the lawyers are now involved, more or less. Okay, so from a legal point of view, what is interesting about getting involved in this case? Is it just to help to stop the crime, or to help the victims, or what? What is that interesting for you as a legal practitioner?
For me, it's most important that, of course, the individual cases, the crime must be stopped. People must become free again.
Yes.
But of course, those who are committing the crime are doing that today with victim number 1,
Mhm.
but they will do it tomorrow with victim number 2,
Two.
and the day after with victim number 3.
Uh-huh.
That is all must be stopped.
Yes.
It must be stopped somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And also, from a more impersonal point of view, but more legal point of view,
Yes.
seen also by the governments, it is very important to stop these people at all because they are constituting criminal networks. They're making a lot of money. They will invest their money again in criminal activities.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And if you can break down these criminal networks,
Yes.
you're saving a lot of people from terrible fate, and
Mhm.
also stopping criminal organizations from becoming too strong.
Absolutely. Now, from that point of view, how many? Do you have some figures of statistics of how many people are trafficked each year? How many men, women, children, for example? Do you have some figures for us?
I don't have actual figures, but it must be quite a lot because I understood that in, for instance, in prostitution, I think I heard sometimes that 25% of the women is not working entirely voluntarily.
Yeah.
So that is also exploitation, and most of them are illegal.
Yes.
And then I cannot give exact figures, but it is huge.
It is huge.
Wow.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are following this broadcast right now, coming to you on the airwaves of Radio Voice of Naija. We're talking about human trafficking. It's an inhuman practice, and we mustn't tolerate it. If you know something like that that's going on, please don't keep quiet. Find a way to deliver somebody who is being maltreated and being exploited. Save that person's life in future, and God will bless you. And those who are involved, we pray that the Lord will touch their hearts, that they can change their profession and do something else. They have more talents in them than to pick on the innocent and the weak and vulnerable.
Yes.
Now keep listening. We'll take a short break and then we will be back. Now give us a call. Give us a call on 020 737 1619.